Welcome back, world, to another edition of Insightful Principles. I have a familiar face here today on the show, Rosco. My guy, he's been on here before. He actually was on episode 41, where we discussed about his book, Where My Falcon's At. That really just talked about his story with the college that we attended, Bowling Green State University, and how he became one of the top artists in the country and actually created the Stroh Center rap, which really transformed a lot of different things at the university. And we also talked about branding and social media. But within this episode, what we're going to discuss today is Web 3.0 and why it's so transformative on how we will be interacting online. And we're going to talk about NFTs, as well as the future of the metaverse, crypto. So it's going to be a very enlightening conversation. If you all can definitely like this video, subscribe to the channel, and continue to keep sharing this information with your family and friends. That's greatly appreciated. But welcome, Roscoe. I'm glad you're here on the show today. How was 2021 for you?
Hey, I appreciate you, man. Having being back on the show, man, on a different perspective, man. Last year was dope. 2021 was dope, man. Especially going into 2022, like what we in right now, man. A lot of powerful things happening, man. A lot of researching I was doing. And after the success of the book, man, selling over 100 something books. It just kind of just being self-published, bro. That was a good time. But now, it's super dope because I ended up finding a new love and passion with this NFTs and everything like that. So I also had another son since our last interview,
Yeah.
man. So
Congrats.
thank you, man. So now I got two sons. Actually had them on Labor Day, and when he was born, that's when I started really getting into NFT. So it was just dope, man. All them hours, working up 4 a.m., 5 a.m., having to feed them. I was just studying, and I came across NFTs in the metaverse, and I started studying. So that's kind of, educating people what I've been on.
Yeah, man, and you have taken some, great leaps, with the learning about the technology and all of the different, services that you're providing to help educate other people, the platforms that you're creating to educate other people about NFTs and the metaverse and blockchain. And I actually wanted to start this conversation off on for someone learning about the metaverse and NFTs that may not even know what we're talking about right now. I'm kind of explain exactly what those two different things are.
Got it. So NFTs is like, and everybody would know this, but it's non-fungible token. Let me break that down a little bit because anybody can look up and say non-fungible tokens. What is that? Well, if you look up the definition of fungible, fungible is something that can be replaced. Something that's identical, like this bottle of water. This bottle of water is fungible because I can drink this and then get another bottle of water. It's the same exact one. Non-fungible, a one of one. You mean like you can't duplicate it. It can't be copied. It's usually digital. You can call other things non-fungible in real life, but in this case with the NFTs, it's a digital one of one type of thing that can't be copied.
Yeah, and as far as like the metaverse, for someone that may not have an idea of that, what does that really mean to you?
Good question. So I always break it down like this, man, and that's where I really started to know that I was onto something. Because a lot of people are just not finding out about NFTs, but when I say I went down the rabbit hole of everything, Metaverse was next, bro. So I tell people to look at it like this: we live in a universe right now, which is under the stars and the moon. We all live in the universe. The Metaverse is the virtual reality of the real world. So when people think of, I always tell them to watch the movie Ready Player One. If you
One.
haven't watched that, that's what we're living. That's what our world is going to become, and it's based out of Columbus, Ohio. You know what I'm saying? Like in 20, I forgot the year, but it's like 2025, 2045, one of them. But basically, it's a virtual reality world. It's a world where you can actually go into things. You can be whatever you want. It's a digital aspect. It's virtual. The metaverse is literally, I can't even explain. It's a virtual world. If we think about video games like Grand Theft Auto, that Grand Theft Auto is the Grand Theft Auto San Andreas metaverse. If we think about NBA 2K, when people are playing these video games, they're in this metaverse simulation. When we think about Fortnite, when you're playing these video games, you're in that video game's metaverse. But just imagine us as humans. Now we can become an avatar and we become digitized and we're living our day-to-day life. And I will give you the best game example. Whoever plays Sims. Sims is the metaverse for us, you know, like, so that's kind of what it is. It's going to be an updated version of Sims.
Yeah, man. Ready Player One, great movie by the way, and it really shows what can happen and in what the future is of how we're going to turn our real world into a virtual reality. And one thing that I really think about when it comes to the metaverse is also like you think about what Meta, which originally they were Facebook, what they're doing with Oculus. Apple was trying to create something with the Apple glasses, where people are going to instantly be able to put glasses on and they'll be able to use the spatial reality technology. And, I think this is going to completely transform the way we go about, our day to day. I think that a lot of people are going to be working in the metaverse. They're going to create events in the metaverse. They're going to be able to buy land within the metaverse. So I think metaverse, it provides a lot of opportunity for content creators, for entrepreneurs, for gamers. This thing is really taking off. And I think that if all of you haven't done research into the metaverse, I will highly encourage you to look into it, because it's already $1 billion industry, but it's easily going to be an industry that is going to change the way we go about our daily lives. And when I think about the NFT conversation, the power of the NFTs is this digital asset can literally represent anything. It can represent the deed to a home. It can represent an insurance contract. It could represent a ticket to a sporting event. And essentially an NFT is on a smart contract, and a smart contract gives an owner of that contract the ability to add royalties, where they can get a chance to generate revenue off of their digital asset. So the NFTs, the metaverse, everyone definitely do your research on it, because it's going to provide opportunities for people to make, investments into it and to be able to be successful. And also just being able to use an immersive technology that we are going to see that's leading into the web 3.0. So I actually wanted to get your thoughts on the transition from Web 1.0 to Web 3.0. What exactly are the opportunities that you're seeing in Web 3.0, whether it's immersive experiences with the metaverse, or even when we go into DeFi, when we talk about decentralized finance protocols, what are the shifts that you're seeing with Web 3.0, and how do you think it's going to change the way we interact online?
Man, there's some good questions. These are great.
Yeah.
Like, and I get excited all over again about this stuff because I'm like, bruh, like, I want us to think deep about what's going on, y'all. Like, this isn't like this is a whole generational wealth transfer that we going into, man. So, just I'll go back to the metaverse before I go to Web 1.0 and everything like that. The metaverse too, and with the job opportunities, just like it is in real world, y'all. People serving food and people working at bars and going to events, and like, you're gonna have to hire people for these events when they have these festivals and everything like that. The beautiful thing about the metaverse that I like and that people don't understand is that only way you can buy things and spend things and maneuver in this metaverse is with digital currency. Like, fiat and paper money it doesn't matter in this virtual reality world. And I love that because it transitions just over to more digital anyway. So people always be like, well, why would I want to buy some food in the metaverse, like in the virtual world? Like, I'm not eating that. Well, guess what? What if the only way that, just like when you order DoorDash or Grubhub, what if they told you that only way that you can order your favorite dish is if you come into our metaverse, you use digital currency to buy it, and then you get a ring at your doorbell and it's delivered. So just like ordering stuff on your phone, just like DoorDash and clicking on an app, it's going to be done the same way, except you're going to have to go in that virtual reality metaverse in order to do that. So I think that that's a beautiful thing too. A lot of people, like I posted something today about Walmart. Walmart just had this video where how the new experience of shopping, self checkout was all cool. That is nothing compared to when you're going to do shopping in the metaverse. You're going to be able to grab stuff and move stuff. And you mentioned the Oculus lens, which my wife ended up getting me for our anniversary, and I've been tuned in since October. So once I got those, that's when my light bulb really went off. So I see everybody posting the videos now, like, the funny videos and people fighting and all that. But I was already tapped in. I was already doing my research, man. Like, I was on it. So those, and then Microsoft has some lenses too called the Microsoft Hololens. Those are that's a whole different beast as well. Those are a little out my pay grade. But the Oculus lens definitely get the job done. I got the Quest ones, man. And just once I got in there, bro, and saw the potential of what was going on, knowing that I can go into this virtual reality world and go in any place I want. I can go to a concert like Rolling Loud or any of these festivals, and I can feel like I'm there and look behind me and really feel like I'm in the crowd. Or I can go Google Dubai, and I can go to Dubai and like walk around like I'm really there. I said, okay, it went off in my head. So the metaverse is just literally going to intensify our experience. Just like if you think about like scrolling on social media, that's more Web 2.0. So as we transition, Web 1.0 is read only. Yahoo, the stuff like that, like you couldn't really interact with it. We would just read stuff. That's when we were younger. Web 2.0, you can interact with it. You can make comments, you can make posts, you can share stuff. It's more engaging. Web 3.0 is going to combine all of that, except it's going to be done more virtually. It's going to use a lot of artificial intelligence. The connectivity is going to inquire digital wallets. You're going to have 3D graphics. So I feel like it's just more of an intensified version of what we're doing. And then my favorite, the augmented reality. The stuff like that, we're going to talk about, where I tell people if they seen the Black Panther movie, when he actually had his watch, and he, when Spy came out of there to handle him, we're going to have that. Apple Watches is not going to be the same anymore. You're going to say, hey, Siri, and she's going to holographic out your watch, and you ain't going to be able to touch her, but you're going to be able to see her like that. So that's kind of where my mindset is with it. So Web 3.0 just more powerful. I know a lot of people probably know about Nas was dropping something today where you can earn like royalties of his music when you buy this certain NFT. So I'm all excited. I'm thinking about it. I'm like, this is what I wanted. This is what I want to do. And then the site crashed because it was so many people. So I joined the Twitter Spaces and heard Nas talking. It was on stage with him and hearing everything, and him just explaining the future of Web 3.0 for musicians and everything, what it's going to do, man. So Web 1.0 is read-only, Yahoo, stuff like that. We couldn't really do nothing. The MSN and stuff like that, dial up. Web 2.0, we can interact. You can go on websites. We can click around. We can engage. We can order online. We can do all this stuff. We can watch Netflix. Web 3.0 is just going to be a whole different experience. You just imagine everything intensifies. So I feel like as we go more and more to that, the jobs are going to open up, because guess what? People that actually have skills with blockchain, I ain't going to get in there. People that actually have skills with knowing how it works, it's going to be a job for you.
Yeah, man, I totally agree. I just think the opportunities that it's going to provide for people, it's really going to allow people to be able to get an income that's going to be really skill based. So what I mean by that is, you no longer, if you don't want to work for someone, you can find ways to create live events, for example, in the metaverse, and find a way to generate revenue, or buying digital real estate in the metaverse, and then selling it for a higher price point down the line if you decide to. So I just think that the opportunities that it's going to provide for people to actually have digital assets and being able to build wealth, like you said, this is one of the biggest wealth opportunities, and just the transformation that we're seeing, moving from Web 2.0, where it was more of just interaction, communication online through social networks. When you think about Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, but now we're moving more into a decentralized aspect where we have complete control over our creativity, over our data, which leads to more transparency, and it just allows us to be able to create more brand awareness. When you think about when you're trying to build your brand for yourself, for your targeted audience. So it's definitely a lot of opportunities I'm seeing, man, with the metaverse. And I actually wanted to talk about, I was reading something on Bloomberg that talked about how the metaverse market could reach 800 billion by 2024. And they kind of talked about a lot of this is going to be due to advancements with gaming, virtual 3D worlds with the augmented and virtual reality. And they also said with live and entertainment, like what you were just talking about with Rolling Loud, just the way concerts are going to be shown through the metaverse, and just with social media. I wanted to get your viewpoint on what are some opportunities that you have seen personally in the metaverse as far as how you have interacted with it, and what are some areas that you think people need to be paying attention to?
Man, that's a great question. Two ways. Of course, the live events and the concerts. I want to speak on this because I know rest in peace to the people that actually lost their lives at the Travis Scott concert situation.
Yeah,
But in the
that's good.
metaverse, that wouldn't happen. And I just
Yeah,
say because virtual reality concerts, you can do it. You can enjoy it from the comfort of your own home. You can be there. You can still get that immersive experience and things like that. And it's dope. With viruses and everything going on, more and more people are going to want to enjoy themselves from the comfort of their own home. Now, the opportunities that I saw and that I'm investing in is this digital real estate and assets. I currently hold over 35 properties in my digital real estate portfolio, just because I got in early and understanding it. A lot of people know that these are the main ones: the Decentraland and the Sandbox. Those are two of the main top ones. Those are the two main top ones if you want to get digital real estate in terms of buying parcels of land. A lot of people are like, why am I paying for this virtual land? What can I do? Well, you can rent it out. You can actually host events there. You can build land on it. You may be able to build a hotel there. You got to think when people go into the metaverse, they're going to want to go into these different lands. They're going to go into these different places. So I say, when you're in the metaverse, I probably want to go to my house. If I own a house and I live in the metaverse, I want to go kick it at my crib. I want to deck it up. So what I started to do when I came across what was going on, I want people to think of it like Monopoly. Monopoly is one of my favorite games. But this platform I use called Upland, and I usually don't tell people it, man, because it's a lot of stuff. But y'all just hit me up for my referral link so we both can get some coins. Like hit me up so I can get you in before you sign up. But Upland is like literally a blockchain monopoly. And it's like a virtual property game. You're playing with a certain token that they use called UPX. UPX is their token coin. So a lot of the virtual gaming that you talked about too is going to really bring in billions of dollars, literally. So now you remember back in the day, our mom was like, man, stop playing that game. It ain't making you no money. It's over with. Game is about to make everybody money. Like if you ain't gaming, moving from this year on beyond, you ain't doing the right thing. So video gaming in the metaverse is going to be paying money. Digital real estate. So now imagine if you buying these properties and land. First things first is I'm buying these properties for the nostalgic feeling first. Like that's what really made me want to buy. I bought the house I grew up in. I bought the houses that across the street from the schools I went to. I bought my family's houses. I bought houses where my wife and them live. I own houses from Ohio to New York to Chicago that I've purchased the land. And people are like, how do you know if it's real? Well, this is all stored on the blockchain. So when you actually in a blockchain, y'all, it records transactions. That's all it is. It's a digital ledger that records transactions that can't be reversed. So once it's on that blockchain, it's open to the public. So don't get confused on that. But basically, on this certain, when you buy these digital lands and parcels, it's done on a blockchain that shows that you are the owner. So as of January 11, 2022, if I buy a property, whatever happens, they're going to issue me a blockchain check property title, just like you would get a property title in real life. And it's going to have this number, it's going to have the date, how much I paid for it. And this is my proof that I own this property. So my goal is to make my hood that I grew up in look like Beverly Hills. So nobody can, in the metaverse, you can make it look like whatever you want. That's what I love about it. Like I can make this place look like whatever it is that I want. So moving forward, I feel like those are opportunities where I can build hotels, just like in the game Monopoly. The more and more people land on your property, guess what? This is another dope thing about it. You actually get paid rent. So all of my properties, I'm currently earning a farm staking on it. Farming and staking, which is DeFi. We'll talk about that. But it's so dope because I'm like, man, if when they make this a real deal thing and this is real money and I'm early in next year, I'm earning rent on a virtual property that I'm not doing nothing. I bought it in the metaverse. And the cool thing about it is this platform just announced maybe a couple of weeks ago, I can sell my virtual properties for US dollars. This is a game changer. So all those properties I bought with their token UPX, I can now sell for US dollars. So I got some listed for $750. I got a couple properties listed for $1,000. But the moment I sell one of those, you can't tell me nothing. The moment I sell one of my digital properties for actual US dollar cash, my brain is going to go off even more. So I just feel like for real estate people and everything like that, a lot of realtors hit me up because they're like, man, I don't want to miss out, but I love what I'm doing in the physical, and I want to leave y'all with this on this. In the physical, God forbid your house burned down. Like, that can happen. In the metaverse, that can't happen. Like all of this stuff is stored digitally, so that just makes you even more comfortable about everything. So just like you got somebody that may have a prize signed autograph basketball. This signed autograph basketball holds weight. If they lose this or it gets deflated, the value goes down. If you make that digital though, and you put that on a blockchain or you put it in the metaverse, it's going to always look 100% clean. It's going to always look the same way. So I just feel like those opportunities. Don't forget about the digital real estate, and don't forget about the digital gaming, because these both allow you to earn cryptocurrency for doing that, which can be converted to a US dollar. A lot of times people don't know that. They be like, why do I want crypto? I can't spend crypto. Well, then convert it to US dollar if you don't feel comfortable. But sooner or later, the world is going to say we accept crypto.
Yeah, man, this is really hitting on a subject about the tokenization of real estate, and I really think that the digital real estate, it has a lot of tremendous value because, like you said, it's on a blockchain, so it can't be changed. You can make it very unique, where it's one of one, and everything is just transparent, and with it being on a blockchain, you have that distributed ledger of that history of the digital asset, and you could be able to resell it for a higher value, or it could be just an asset you decide to hold over the long period of time and just allow it to accumulate in value over time. And a lot of the value that I'm seeing with whether it's metaverse or NFTs is, and Gary Vee has talked about it, but the social signaling. I think as humans, we always are communicating, whether it's the car that we drive, the clothes that we wear, the jewelry that we may put on, what we put on our social media, where this is essentially why NFTs in the metaverse is going to be so transformative, because everyone is always social signaling to communicate with each other. So I definitely think that that's a whole nother aspect too of why people are buying NFTs, crypto punks. You think about Bored Apes, a lot of people are like, why are people paying for a JPEG? But a lot of people in the market have determined that this has value, and it just represents a nostalgia, like you mentioned earlier in the show, where it's something I have that nobody else's has. And with CryptoPunks, I mean, that project has been doing insane. They're constantly growing in value. Somebody told me about, you ever heard of monkeys? They're
Nope.
there's an NFT project called Cyclop Monkeys, and they're pretty much similar to Bored Apes, but it's another unique form of how the monkey looks as an NFT. So there's a lot of great things happening in the space, and I just think that everyone, you got to approach this with an open mind and understand that with crypto, at the beginning of its infancy, which we still are in the beginning aspects of crypto when you look at the totality of it, but there were a lot of ICOs that some didn't do as well, some did great. So you have to take precaution with doing your due diligence and your research when you're looking at these NFT projects. When you're looking at opportunities in the metaverse, just make sure that you're doing your research and you're making a sound financial decision. Never put all your eggs in one basket, and make sure that if you are investing in the NFT, make sure it's money that you can lose and that you're not banking a house on it. So
Yeah.
I wanted to kind of also talk about what are the challenges that you see with the metaverse? Because the one thing that I, was kind of thinking about when I seen Ready Player One is, I don't necessarily want to have my child just be in the metaverse all day, because I feel like, man, what happened to the days of us going out, playing basketball, playing football, climbing trees, and just interacting with nature. I feel like the challenges with the metaverse is going to be that it's keeping us in a deeper state than social media. There's a lot of people that have addiction to social media, and I think that the metaverse, it can lead to that. Even though there's a lot of pros, I also kind of want to talk about the cons, and kind of like, what are your thoughts on that? Have you ever thought about that as far as for your children, having them in the metaverse, and having it, using it in moderation and not being addicted to it?
Man, this is another good question, bro. And I keep on saying the Ready Player One. I'm glad you mentioned it, because when I saw it, it shook me up, man. Because I said, "Whoa!" we will have that. Just like think about when social media came about. It started off as just a place to meet friends and everything, and next thing you know, we start having hate speech and bullying and all the negative. Everything that gets put out is going to always have a negative side. That's just how it goes. But I definitely feel like we're going to have to start monitoring, just like with YouTube and TikTok. TikTok is something, especially think about for kids. And I see my nieces in them all the time, and I try to tell them like, y'all got to take a little break because you can get wrapped in that rabbit hole of just social media and TikTok and being on it too long. But I feel like if people start setting standards, you know what I'm saying, where if they'll set it to where you can set like stuff like a certain time limit. And I know for the Oculus, it doesn't stay charged as long as it should. But I definitely still see like that can happen. People getting trapped inside. People really spending all their time doing it. So I think they'll have to do a lot of cases where they're telling people like, just limit your time. But I'll definitely be telling my sons and them and stuff like that, like, watching them and make sure I'm managing when they can and can't use it. Because I don't want them to get caught up in terms of that, man. So that's definitely a real thing.
Yeah, man, it really is, and there's another I don't know if you heard of Black Mirror. They're on Netflix, and they pretty much talk about things that can happen in society, and they kind of are creating like these themes of potential things that can happen, and it kind of just opens your eyes to like, man, I don't want to see that turn into a disaster. And they was actually talking about, they had an episode about the metaverse, and there was a guy that he pretty much was taking the DNA of people and he was immersing them in the video game. And it was wild, bro. It's things like, that I think about. Like, I hope, what I hope for is that, like you said, with the standards, there's going to have to be a lot of testing to make sure that people are not, getting playing this at 13, 14 hours a day. Lord forbid, we don't want to see somebody actually get stuck in the metaverse and they can't get out. I think about things like that, and I just think that from just a lawsuit standpoint, these companies are going to have to really make sure that they have the right protocols, that they are not putting people at risk. Because Joe Rogan, he had an episode. Tristan Thompson, he's the creator of he basically talks about the addiction of social media, and he talks about humane technology. That's the name of his brand. And Joe Rogan was like, the whole thing with Facebook and their metaverse, he's kind of worried about it because they are pretty much, they want to control all of your data. They want to immerse you in their universe, but they don't really want. It has decentralized components, and I think that that's a lot of the different challenges. Also, as well, is that the ownership has some centralized components where it's not completely decentralized. So I think for investors, if you are going to get involved with the metaverse and the NFTs, you want to find a way to have a ledger. Make sure that you have a private wallet, which I have myself, which it looks similar to something like this, where you can pretty much store all of your crypto assets, your digital assets on this. Yep, you already know. So you can protect yourself, because this whole thing is about decentralization. It's providing opportunities for us to really have the ultimate control and freedom over money, over content creation, over our intellectual property. And like what my guy Rosco was saying at the beginning, that this is really the biggest wealth transfer that we're going to see in our society, as far as the amount of opportunities that we'll have. You got to take your privacy and security very seriously, because that's why people are into this game, because they want to have more control over their assets. So I wanted to ask you, like, can you kind of talk about that? Like, what are your thoughts on that, as far as just, having a decentralized mindset, and having that privacy and security of your assets as well?
Man, this is my next favorite thing, man. So as I started to go down that hole and start realizing DeFi, and I'm like, whoa, somebody like myself, being an investor and stuff like that. I don't rock with the banks, you know what I'm saying? And I had another situation, like, no shots at the banks, y'all. This is just how I feel, this personal feeling. But even being a financial advisor and doing my life insurance and stuff like that, it's just I learned a lot of stuff But the banks are their own bullies. You know what I'm saying? Like it is what it is. And even you were talking about the Facebook thing. I know you've seen the Social Experiment on Netflix as well. Yeah. So when I saw that, bro, everything that I know from us being like, we really technology, social media kids. Like we were in college when like Twitter was popping in. We went through every phase of social media. So I'm like, man, we really birthed this. So when I started to realize about DeFi, just decentralized, even if you talk about a DAO, a decentralized autonomous organization, and just that ownership of us, like nobody runs this. We're all a community. I feel like I love that, and that's where it's going. That's what I vouch. Decentralization is just something that's not centralized. It's not controlled by the people that at B that usually control you. Whether they're controlling the money, whether they're controlling your data, whether they're controlling your privacy, whether they're controlling your assets. I like decentralized because you take control, you take ownership back. You actually being able to say, nah, I don't want to give you this information. I don't want you to know all this about me. I don't want you to know my favorite color or what time I'm on at this time and what I'm doing. Y'all go watch the Social Experiment as well. You'll actually understand. But I like that approach even in terms of finance because, again, we taking our control back. Everybody is understanding that we working together. Everybody is understanding where it's not stored, where it's centralized. You can stake your currency. And this is my favorite thing about DeFi. The banks will probably give you 1% interest rate it's crazy, man. You look at your bank statements and get a 1% interest rate, and they think you want to yoo-hoo. And I found a platform that I can get. I have a 70,000% APY. This is the annual percentage yield. This is what you're earning. So they call it crypto rewards. So if I stake in your crypto, staking is just by holding your crypto, just like you hold your money in the savings. By holding your money in this crypto, you're gonna get paid these weekly rewards. They're just gonna pay it out to you. So once I realized that, bro, it was over with. Now I'm staking and I want to shout out to my guy, Mike, Investorly. I met him out at NFT NYC. So I went to that conference in New York last year. And it was that, kind of, it been around for a while, but last year was the biggest ever it's been, because NFTs is being talked about. So just imagine October 2021, I'm out in New York at NFT NYC conference, meeting all these people, all the Times Square billboards got NFTs everywhere. Like, it's a bunch of stuff, man. And I met a guy there at a Chainlink event. I'm a very big Chainlink guy. Shout out my Chainlink fam. That's one of the cryptocurrencies I really love. Just because they're literally linking everything together, all these different protocols.
I got Chainlink too, bro. Chainlink's a great one.
Yes. Shout out to my Link fam. So I met him out there, and he kind of was telling me about like, hey, of course Coinbase is where I started. I earn my rewards in Coinbase, and and then that's another thing too. Y'all can actually earn by learning on Coinbase. If Coinbase is a platform, you can just take them 3-minute videos and take the test, and they'll give you $3 worth of crypto. $6. But once I started to last year with my Forex guys, and I started to start seeing APY, I always thought it was like annual percentage earned. So I was like, oh, this is like this. But then I started seeing I'm getting 3 cents every day, 5 cents. I was like, I like this. With my Algorand, just different things that I was investing in. But when I talked to him, he was sitting right in front of me at a Chainlink event, and I'm just introduced myself. Come to find out, he runs an educational platform too, out in LA, doing the same thing that I'm doing, but he's a little bit more advanced. He was like, hey, you ever know about this or that? I was like, nah. He like, about this platform that allows you to stake this and get a 20% APY. I was like, what? I only thought you can get 4 or 5%. What's this? So he started to show me these things, and then what he did was like, let me give you my referral link. So he referred me the link. I signed up. He got $50 in Bitcoin. I got $50 in Bitcoin. So I'm big on referral links now because I'm like, oh, you send a referral link, you get this and that. But DeFi just changed the game because there's no set laws on how it's going to be. You know what I'm saying? That somebody can say, I want to give you a 50,000% APY, and that's what it is. When the bank will probably never go that high. Not even close. You'll probably just get a 1%, man. So I always tell people, at least find you some crypto and DeFi that you can actually stake your money and earn that interest.
Yeah, man. I've been wanting to talk about this DeFi because I feel like, DeFi it really is showing the next level of where financial services can go. When you talk about banking, borrowing, lending, staking, there's a lot of opportunities, and like you said, I definitely would tell anyone out there, you got to do your, you have to understand that the system was never designed for us. It always was built from a centralized standpoint. and the banks are making more money off of our money just sitting in a bank account. So you have to become more strategic and look at, okay, how can I earn interest? How can I earn passive income with, like what Roscoe just said, just simply having a certain amount of crypto in your portfolio. I use a platform called Voyager, and they give you a certain amount of interest for just if you have like about, they have a certain limits on whichever cryptos, but if you have a certain portion of it every month, they give you more and more interest every month. And another thing that I want to discuss is like borrowing and lending when it comes to DeFi. A lot of people, well, I recently found out about this strategy, but a tax hack on how you can avoid taxes legally with your crypto is you can borrow against it rather than selling your position. So for example, let's say I own Bitcoin and I want to borrow against my position and I want to buy a home. You can do that. There's a lot of platforms that allow you to do that where you can borrow against it. You just want to definitely make sure that you're looking at the research of the platforms. But that's a great way, because it's not a taxable event unless you actually sell the crypto, you sell the position. So I tell anyone that earning interest is a great way to be able to build passive income, but also you can borrow against it and you can use it for liquidity needs. If you want to actually take some of that passive income and you want to go, it doesn't even have to be a home. It could be anything that you want to purchase. And then the lending aspect allows you to actually lend it out to other people and earn interest. So there's a lot of great ways of how you can play this DeFi space, and just with the yield, what we're discussing is essentially yield farming. You're essentially just earning yield by whether it's lending out crypto, staking crypto, and 19 Keys. He was actually talking about like, he wants to earn crypto instead of buying it. So he was saying like, I'm going to get it passively through staking, through lending, or even, having an NFT where you can be able to create some type of value that's exchangeable, where if a person buys your NFT, you're getting whether, Ethereum, and then you can exchange value to them and say, okay, I'll give you 20% off on this next service that I provide. So I actually wanted to talk about that, man, as far as like NFTs, how with content creators like me and yourself, educators, it's providing opportunities for us to be able to create experiences for our audience, for our clients, and being able to add value immensely. And I wanted to ask, how have you been utilizing NFTs for your brand and some of the things that you've been doing to just help broaden your reach?
Definitely, and shout out 19 Keys, man. Definitely somebody. And I tell people it's for real. I probably got into space early August. Yeah, early August, and Gary V and 19 Keys is people that I came across. Gary V was somebody because I know I missed the TikTok wave. So when in 2017, and I was like, nah, he talked about it. So once I heard about this, I'm like, okay, I can't miss out. So he was definitely the one that really like made me like let me get serious. But after that, once I started studying, I came across 19 Keys, and I was like, oh, he hip to it already too. So I definitely credit him, them two for people that really like made me see the bigger picture. But I feel like it's deep because think about NFTs is like even if you buy an NFT right now, I mean right now, and it's probably a couple $100. If that collection gets big, or somebody of status buys it, or if you look at the mission of it, your whole thing. Like I bought a crypto called like a Jakey Heist. It's a I forgot actually who made it, but I paid probably like 300 maybe $150 for it. Not gas, without gas fees. Gas fees, yours is just actually something that's done on a blockchain. Just think of it like driving a car. When you want to go from one street to another block, you got to go get gas in order to do that. Well, that's the same thing on the blockchain. If you want to make a transaction from one wallet to another or something, you got to pay that service fee. So basically, I'm getting distracted. I'm talking about different things. So NFTs. So when you buy that, if you buy it very cheaply and somebody bids on it, you pay $120, and somebody just bidded me $1,000 for it a couple weeks ago. I didn't accept the offer, but just to know, I paid $100 with gas. I paid $180 for this little image, and somebody want to buy from me for $1,000. So that's a 900% return, potentially $900 that I can make off of that. So again, you're using crypto to buy it. The main crypto that people are using is Ethereum. Ethereum is the one. Bitcoin, of course, is the most popular, but I call it like the grandfather. Bitcoin is the grandfather. Ethereum is the father, and then all these other cryptos under it, I feel like are the sons because these are the two main ones, and I like to break it down to my students like that because I like to make it real term. And you think about the Dogecoin and the Shiba coin and all these different meme coins. These are just the kids. These are the sons. They're going to be bigger. One day they're going to grow up and be big, but right now they're not. But I definitely feel like that's what I'm on to. Even borrowing and lending from your crypto, like earning rewards. That's my new thing now. I feel like I got my high already of like trying to get the meme coin going to 1,000, 20% and all that stuff. So now I'm strictly taking my money and I'm putting it into yield earning crypto. If it cannot earn me any yield, if I can't stake it, if I can't really earn interest on it just by holding it, I'm not putting my money there. No more trying to catch the one. And again, y'all, we not giving y'all financial advice. This is just from experience. I don't want to put my money in a guess anymore. I'd rather take that money and put it in a stable coin or put it in a position where I know that I'm going to earn some money, whether it goes up or down, and I'll see what happens from there. Hey, if I get lucky on something, cool. But I feel like that's something that's definitely deep because there's so many ways to earn crypto by having crypto. And I feel like that's going to change the game because if you have your money sitting in a shoebox and you got all this money, God forbid it burn up or something happen to it, that money gone. Or if you put it in a savings account, you really not getting no bread. But if you take that same money and just stake it, or you just hold it in a specific crypto and just let it earn that interest, I feel like it just holds more weight.
Yeah, I agree, man. I definitely think DeFi, um, definitely everyone, you got to take some time to research exactly what that is because it provides, great opportunities for you to be able to earn passive income in cryptocurrency and being able to be able to think about other aspects of how you can earn it and getting interest as well. So I kind of want to also get your ideas on I like how you broke down, like, with Bitcoin, Ethereum, as far as how we know that Bitcoin is like the most popular. This is the one when we look at the market that is stating that this is worth more, the value of it is worth more compared to these other coins. But how do you look at distinguishing Bitcoin in comparison to crypto? When you think about like Ethereum, you think about Chainlink, Cardano. I know for me personally, the way I think about it, and I would love to get your take on it. But Bitcoin, I look at more as a store of value. I look at it more as a savings mechanism because I think that Bitcoin is going to far outstand. It's going to accumulate in value in comparison to a lot of the other asset classes, whether it's stocks, bonds, real estate. I just feel confident that when you look at all of the aspects of Bitcoin, it's a great store of value. But then when I look at crypto, like Ethereum and a lot of these other coins, there are more utility cases. So with Ethereum, you have smart contracts. With Chainlink, they're trying to make like smart contracts a lot more efficient and cheaper amongst businesses. So, I would love to get your thoughts on how you kind of think about, the two and even maybe portfolio construction, as far as like how do you kind of structure, and we're not giving financial advice, but how you kind of structure like your portfolio when it comes to your crypto assets, and then kind of how you distinguish between the two from Bitcoin and all of these other coins.
No, that's a great question, and that's it, man. Because I do a lot of studying, y'all, and I recommend going to coin360.com. It kind of just gives you a better look at what's going on and how you can gauge it. But I keep it diversified, man. I feel like Bitcoin. This is where all the billionaires got their money. You know what I'm saying? No matter how we want to look at it, it has the most value, the most market cap. But I look at it in terms of you gotta have some stable coins. You want to have you got to have some stable coins. I don't care what it is, altcoins and everything too. But you got to have the stability so you can actually see like the power of crypto. I feel like a lot of people that I work with are my students. They become believers from stable coins. And stable means doesn't go up or down, y'all. It just kind of, it's stable. You can put your money there and it's just a crypto. And a lot of times I'll be like, you got to look at the USDC coin. That's the United States dollar coin. People know what's up. They're involved even if it's not publicized, but that's it. But stable coins, and coins that are going to earn you, APY and things like that. Those are the main things that I'm big on. Now, I do my research as well, looking at the upcoming, the Metaverse coins, Mana coin and Sandbox coin. These were my first two crypto coins that I got like last year, bro. Off the fact that I was like, oh, gaming coins and virtual real estate. And I got the receipts. One thing about me that I love too is I document my process. Like, so Mana coin and Sandbox coin and Engine coin, these are gaming and metaverse coins that I was like already thinking about. I was like, oh, this gonna be dope in 5 years. This is last year I'm talking about this. And now here we go and it's this year. So I was like, man, 5 years from now, everybody gonna be talking about virtual real estate and gaming. So let me go ahead and get some money in there. And I got Decentraland at 62 cents a coin. So look at it now. So that's like one of my biggest returns. And once I started to realize that, man, I was like, just think about the future. Everybody be like, I'm just trying to make it to tomorrow. And I get it, coming from where you're from, people just trying to get day to day. But I be like, just open your mindset. And I feel like I have an upper advantage because I have two young kids. I have a son that's about to be 3 on the 20th, and I have a son that's 4 months. So I'm playing a 10-year game. Like, I'm not playing next year. I'm playing for 10 years because I'm thinking about where am I going to be when my son's turn 10. So once I started to think about that, I started to think about Metaverse and virtual reality. So my portfolio is different set. It's a lot of stable coins. It's a lot of Metaverse coins, and it's a lot of those coins that actually have, like the Ethereum, that actually have that utility. Being able to work smart contracts, yo. I think of it. I like to simplify stuff. Like, we got paper contracts and stuff like that. Which is, we tired of the paper contracts. That's why smart contract is going to kill a lot of systems. Like, they already have a company in Cleveland that it's a title making company, just like when you deal with cars and title paperwork and all that. Well, they simplified it with a blockchain system. So now all of the titles are pretty much digitalized. They're digitized, and it makes the whole entire process simple because you're keeping it on the blockchain. So imagine pressing one button and all that paperwork you all just did, even real estate, all that appraisal and deed and property title, man, all that stuff is over with. We not trying to handle all that paperwork. You're going to push one button and that smart contract is going to say that. And what I love about the smart contract is once it's locked in and on that blockchain, there's no reversing it. It's irreversible. And that's a good thing too, because when you go into business with people, a lot of people want to take back out or change this, and I want to change this percentage. That blockchain don't lie. Once it's on that blockchain, it's stuck.
Yeah, it's stuck. Hey, that's a fact, bro. And another thing I love about the NFTs is, I know I keep hitting on it, but the ability to be able to create experiences within your NFT as far as the value that you can offer to someone. I mean, that's game changing to me. I mean, I think about what Gary Vee has done with V Friends, how, his NFTs allows you to get like a VIP section to his conference, or you buy his NFT and you can be able to have, a dinner reservation with him where you can sit down with him and talk with him, or he can come on your podcast. So I think the opportunities from that standpoint, I even look at NFTs as far as like actually, with writing a book. I plan to write a book this year, and I'm really going through my thoughts on how I'm going to release a special edition as an NFT where I can find a way where I create the NFT and I tell the person, okay, you go here, you purchase the NFT, you'll get a special edition. If you purchase a special edition of my book, you'll get like 10% off, or you'll be able to get a free one-on-one financial planning session with me. So I'm just trying to find different ways. And, I think like also like 19 Keys said an idea where he talked about like for tattoo artists, like they can, do an NFT where they can utilize like tattoo trading cards. And he was saying like how people could be able to get like a free tattoo session or something like that. So it's a lot of the reason why I love about DeFi, the blockchain, NFTs, you can make this what you want, whatever type of experience, whatever type of value that you want to provide to someone. It's just about, sitting down and putting it into action, man. So I definitely think, man, the NFTs, the metaverse, blockchain, crypto. I mean, we're in the best of times right now, man. As far as, us being alive during this moment, I don't see I would hate to be, in other countries like China where they're, making like Bitcoin mining illegal. They don't really accept this type of technology. We have the opportunity and we got to take advantage of it. So
Yeah, that's major, man. And man, I had so many things to say while you were saying that too, because the utilities, like when I went out to the NFT NYC, and a lot of y'all, of course, people know Dez Bryant and stuff like that. He had a birthday event at the 4040 Club, and I own one of his NFTs. One of his NFTs, through his platform is called a Juggernaut. So when I bought this certain Juggernaut, it gives me access to his birthday party for free. So when I got to the 4040 Club, literally, when I walked up, literally all you had to do was pull out your MetaMask wallet, and that's if I don't get anything. Oh yeah, I meant to say that. Get a digital wallet. I'm screaming this at my webinar on the 27th. I actually be taking a bunch of people through onboarding them, but I've been screaming education in this space since the beginning. So when I got into this space, all people cared about was CryptoPunks, and then this is that early. Only thing people was talking about was CryptoPunks. Nobody cared about educating nobody. All they wanted to say was, "I got a CryptoPunk." I came in and was like, we need to educate. Like, we need people to get a digital wallet before you even talk to them. Stop. I don't want to hear about your CryptoPunk if you don't have no digital wallet. So you got to get a digital wallet first. Get a digital wallet before you even talk about any type of cryptocurrency. So when I got up to that event and the security guards, let me see your wallet. All I literally did was went to my MetaMask and went to my NFTs, showed him that I own this NFT, patted me down. I'm in the event. That's when my mindset was different. I knew at that point we're going into a new world. So NFTs is invite passes. Buying an NFT as a musician and saying, "Hey, you can come to my backstage party. You can come backstage pass." Or like you would say with our book. Now that I think about it, and I tell people, I was doing NFTs with my book before I didn't know it. That's why when people bought my book, you get a wristband, you get a stress ball, you get a bookmark. This was already, this was basically my utilities, and I didn't even know it. I was just going. I just knew I'm like, if somebody buy my book, I want to give them more. So think of it like that. That's why I made my book into an NFT. Same type of vibe. Now my book, you can buy it on OpenSea. When you buy this, I'm going to still give you the wristband, the stress ball, the bookmark, and I'm going to take it up a notch. And then when I release my audio book, in order for you to hear the audio book, you have to own an NFT. So the utility aspect is super, super dope because it gives people a reason to buy. And that's why I like Gary Vee too, because if you buy the V Friends, you get it to the conference for 3 years and admission. So that's the other popping thing that I learned. Even like I said before we wrap this up, a lot of people may see me, on Dez Bryant's Instagram page. Just look on there, just look at it. Professor Rosco, do your research. I came into this space as education. I created a course educating people on the beginners. I did that because I've said all these people are going to want to know about this. They're going to know how to get started. I spent the 4,000 to 5,000 hours researching on YouTube. So I'm like, let me save you the trauma. I like to save people the time. But once I realized, like, okay, cool. As a musician, when I put out this next song, only way you can see the music video is with my NFT. If I put out my book, only way you can get the audio book is if you buy the NFT. You can think of it like that, y'all. It's so many different ways to do it. Tattoo artist, you get an NFT, you get a free tattoo. You're a barber, you get my NFT, you get a free cut a month. So just think of it like that for my business owners. That's what I'm kind of moving into with my agency, just helping people see the bigger picture, not just saying I'm going to buy this digital image, but the utility that comes with it.
yeah, the utility is so important, man. And what's great about it, you can keep building on top of it. And I love your idea about how you talked about, the having the book as an NFT, and you're providing the bookmark, you're providing the wristband, and then they have to purchase the NFT to be able to get the audio book. And it just can continue to keep building. And I think with being in financial planning, there's so many different ways like this can be executed. And I definitely think, creating a way where someone buys my NFT, they can have, a certain percentage off, for a one-on-one discovery call or something like that, or it could even be, being able to go out with the person and getting to know them more, just trying to create value and finding creative ways of how you can build a connection with the person that you're marketing your services and your business to. So business owners, this is tremendous opportunity for us. And the last thing that I wanted to ask is kind of like, how can people connect with you on social media? talk about your virtual webinar this coming up the end of this month, and then also your NFT crypto beginners guide. Kind of tell people how they can support and learn more about that.
Cool. Yep. So y'all can follow me on Instagram at Rosco _No E. I'm a rapper first, y'all. But I'm a professor as well. Even with education and things like that. So you can go to Rosco _No E. Find me on Instagram, Twitter, the whole nine. What y'all learn too for my beginners is Twitter is the main place of education for NFTs. That's kind of where you want to get your information from. But I created the digital NFT crypto university because and people will tell you this, and I got to note it, is I wanted to create my own college in the metaverse. So when I started really think about this, I'm like, man, I want my own college in the metaverse. Like I want people to come in my school. So that's where the idea came from. Shout out to guys that Earn Your Leisure and stuff like that. Kind of just on the same type of time. Even me teaching financial literacy classes in high schools. This is what I do. So I was like telling my students about this before I even knew what it was, and they like, man, I don't believe it. So I'm having a virtual webinar January the 27th. It's only $20. My OG is gonna kill me. They like, man, you supposed to be charging $2,000 for this. I'm like, I want the people at the bottom. Not saying it like that, but I didn't work with the celebrity. Shout out to my guy Prince Donnell. He actually launched the Kangaroo Heroes. He actually purchased the course too. So when I see him purchase it, I'm like, hold on. It's been a lot of celebrities that been tapping in with me and purchasing it, and I haven't really spoke about it. But he was one of the ones, and he just released his NFT collection, Kangaroo Heroes. And basically what he does, speaking about financial advice, is people that buy his NFT, they get 30% off his tax services, off the life insurance, everything. So he's actually doing that. And he's doing a bunch of different things that I feel like all financial advisors want to do. But when I seen that email come through from a Prince Donnell, and I was like, hold on, and I see that he bought my course, I knew that I was onto something. I'm going to claim it. I probably was one of the first people that actually had a course in this space. Like that's done deal. Shout out to my stock guys, my tax guys, my credit repair guys, but NFT course was me first. I got it documented. I got the whole thing. But I feel like that's important because you got to understand. People got to know the basic steps. Everybody teaches different. So y'all gonna see with me how I'm talking to y'all regular. I'm gonna break it down for y'all at the course. I'm gonna help you set up your wallet. I'm gonna help you understand how to get into the metaverse. I'm gonna help you understand how to sell your own NFT. I'm gonna give you everything, the basics for you to get started in the roadmap. All you gotta do is plug in. So RoscoNoE.com, digital NFT crypto university. Somebody be like, why the name so long? Well, I want you to know that this college is for digital, it's for NFTs, it's for crypto. I don't want you to be confused what you're getting yourself into. So DNCU is here to stay, y'all.
Yeah, bro. I definitely I'll be attending, man. I definitely got to check it out. And I'm gonna put all his information, everyone, in the show notes so you can be able to go support the virtual webinar. It's going to be a very educational event. I definitely will encourage everyone to go and support. Hit the link. And I also will put his NFT crypto beginners guide in the show notes so you can learn about NFTs and how to create your own NFT and how to really get involved in this growing technology. And as always, Roscoe, I'm so grateful for you coming on the show, man. It was a great conversation. And thank you for your time, man.
I appreciate you, bro. I appreciate you.
Oh, of course, man. Well, thanks everyone for tuning in to another episode, and take care.